What's going on, everyone? The consensus seems to be, in regards to Sidney Prescott, is her to have a happy ending. They want to see her story conclude with her sort of riding off into the sunset. And I mean, it makes a ton of sense. I mean, think about how tragic her life has been with, her mother Maureen and what happened and her murder, and then her father getting kidnapped, and the Woodsboro massacre with Billy and Stu. And Billy is, her right hand. She's in love with him. It's her companion, her partner, and then just to be betrayed like that. And then she goes away to Windsor College thinking, I'm just going to be a college student. I'm going to get back to normal and just kind of enjoy life. She gets a new group of friends, a new boyfriend, and then Mickey and Mrs. Loomis just put an end to that. So she goes into isolation. You start to see the mental cracks. She has hallucinations of her mother, and just you can see the PTSD and the tragedy starting to seep in. And so she has to come out of hiding to take on her brother Roman, that is, long lost, and sort of brings everything full circle. And then finally she goes off, she writes a book, she sort of steps out of darkness, tries to regain control of her life. And then Charlie and Jill sort of remake the Woodsboro killings. And Jill wants to be Sidney. She wants to step into that role. And she just has not gotten a break at all up until this point. And though I've said countless times that not everybody gets a happy ending, even if they deserve it, and who would deserve a happy ending more than Sydney? But before we jump into it, be sure to like this video. It helps me out a lot. It lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification, stay up to date on all things Scream, join these wonderful conversations in this amazing community. So, as I said, not everybody gets a happy ending as much as we want it. And though I don't want to see, an end to Sydney. I mean, we all want to see Sydney carry on her legacy and carry on these Scream films for as long as possible. There's all the funny memes I've seen going around of like digital enhancements of them in like their 80s, and it's like Scream 40, and we would all love to see that. But at some point, Sydney's story has to end, however that may be. And will it end in Scream 5? I mean, we don't know. We know that they're planning on making a trilogy based on the success, so it's very likely that her story may continue going forward in Scream 6 and Scream 7. But it's very likely that they could continue this trilogy with a new cast and new characters that they've built and developed, and thus that's the end of the OG3, however that may be. And so again, let's get back to the point of the happy ending. We want to see Sydney enjoy life and finally have children and have a family and just sort of be normal for once. And we yet to see what will happen in Scream 5. We don't know what kind of mental state she'll be in, what kind of environment she'll be in. Will she be in Woodsboro? Will she be out of Woodsboro? Will she be married? Will she have kids? And the sort of question and discussion that I want to have with you all, so make sure you join it down in the comments below, is what if, given that Scream 5 is supposed to be in real time, so that means there'd be like a 10, 11 year lapse. Let's say if they are filming it in real time when they started filming, you got like maybe 8 or 9 years. Okay, so what happens if her happiness was in that time period? That's something that I've yet to see anybody sort of talk about or suggest. I mean, even in my comment section, I get flooded with, people whenever I mention Sydney dying tragically or sort of her story as a whole. Maybe not even her dying, just I mention her. Again, the consensus is they want to see her have a happy ending. They want to see her either carry on her legacy through Scream. You can't kill her. You can't, like, she has to have a happy ending. She has to, get a chance to enjoy life that she never got. And my rebuttal has always been that, again, not everybody gets a happy ending. There are tons of people, even in reality, not even from a movie sense, that just never get that happy ending. And they're good people. They go through tragedy. They go through heartbreak and just seem to just always have the bad end of the stick, to keep it, PG kind of. But, and, even in a fictional horror world, it's even more likely that she wouldn't have a happy ending. So what if in the last 10 years or so, she had that? She had the kids. She had maybe she marries Kincaid. That's kind of the thing that everyone wants to see. Everyone kind of ships Kincaid and Sydney, and they're hoping that he'll make a return because he wasn't in Scream 4, and everyone's like, what happened to him? They look so happy, and there was that sort of chemistry and that connection that we saw in Scream 3. So like, you didn't see anything in Scream 4. That doesn't mean that maybe they weren't together. Maybe they were. Maybe after Scream 3 they stayed together, and she just went to Woodsboro to go do her book tour, thinking nothing of it, thinking, I'm gonna, it's been long enough, it's been a long time, let's step out of the darkness, as she put it, and just see this world again, and kind of gain control of my life. Maybe Kincaid even had a part in that, like, hey, you can't stay hiding forever. And maybe we'll get to see, because outside of the Scream 4 incident, that would give essentially 20 years. I mean, give or take 15 of them sort of together and enjoying life. And maybe she returned from Woodsboro, and after the book tour and after all the events with Jill and Charlie, and reunited back with Kincaid, and they had a happy life. Maybe Sydney's got some kids, and the last 10 years or so has just been just phenomenal, and she's just really gotten to enjoy life as many of us want to see her enjoy. And that was her happy ending. And then going into Scream 5, we get back to the tragedy. Maybe she finally regained herself, and she finally got her bearings back, and her mental state is good, and she's just enjoying life. She's successful, has a great career. Obviously Kincaid was a police officer, a detective. So maybe he was able to get her into Hollywood, and not as an actress or anything, but just relocate and get her out of that hiding spot, and sort of they were able to carry on through life. And that could have been their happy ending. That could have been her enjoyment for that time period, and thus the tragic ending that so many don't want to see. But it's very poetic. I mean, think of every iconic poetry, every iconic story, every iconic like love story even. A lot of them end in tragedy. And it really draws out that emotion. It really draws out that sort of that anger and that angst, and that just everything that comes with that. And they've built Sidney for so long, over all of these films, all of these years, that we are so connected that we can't even imagine a Scream without Sidney. That we can't imagine her dying in even a heroic way. Again, you can't, if you're gonna kill her, you can't kill her in a random attack. It has to be in a self-sacrifice, or sort of put an end to it all. And again, I'm not saying she dies in Scream 5. Maybe she carries on to 6 and 7. And then, but what happens if at the end of this trilogy, assuming that we get one, what happens if at the end of that trilogy, that's the end? Like, we get that poetic ending where she just meets her end in a heroic way, and kind of puts an end to this Ghostface narrative, and then that's the way that the story ends. That's the way Sydney's story finishes, and she got her happy ending for a 10-year period, which is a lot than most in especially in horror, in that genre, that field. But it's just something that has popped into my mind recently that I wanted to present and have a discussion with you all and hear your opinion. So again, join it down in the discussion below, down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm sure, again, the consensus will be like, no, she has to live. She can't die in a tragic way. They need to carry her story on. She needs to live. She needs to ride off in the sunset. But it's just another idea of, what if she already got her happy ending? What if she already got her enjoyment, and got to finally live life for these last 10, 11 years, and thus her end is, because everybody dies at some point, even in reality, however it may be, car accident, just old age, you get sick, whatever. There's a like the TV show, 1,000 Ways to Die, that and what if she had all that enjoyment, she got a life, she had kids, she had a husband and Kincaid or whoever, and now she's got to, this is just her story ending. And yeah, so again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. It helps me out a lot, lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, again, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, be a part of this wonderful community, all of these wonderful discussions and debates, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you.